Challenge of the Super Sons issue 1 finds the elderly John and Damien fighting one another in their video game. While they argue over who's winning, their grandchildren sneak downstairs and take another of the Adventures of the Super Sons storybooks off the shelf, ready to begin a new story. In the past, Miss Alvarado tells Damien to keep his feet off the table, reminding the boys the library is closing soon, so they'll need to go home if they want to continue to study. John finishes his school paper article, knowing the school has a cheating scandal and he's going to piece together the story to uncover it. Damien, however, has already solved it, but John reminds his friend that his mother always said that a good reporter doesn't get great stories, a good reporter makes them. John realizes what Damien said, learning that it was Professor Harrow's TA who was cheating, who had been selling the tests over a dark server connected to the school's mainframe, and since he uploaded the evidence to the headmaster, she'll be fired soon. John isn't happy about this since he spent 2 weeks working on the story, but Damien is only interested in leaving the school grounds. John wants his friend to stop messing with him since he's trying to get a job at the school paper, but Damien reminds him that there is no school paper job. He'd be working for free and print is a dying medium. Mr. Barkley walks down the hall, prompting him to say hello to the boys, with an icy emphasis on Damien's greeting, as the boy hopes that he corrected his physics test. Damien returns to his previous conversation, reminding John that this week he is his ride home. John isn't so sure he wants to take the boy after the stunt he pulled with the investigation. John slips his flash drive with his story on it under the Weekly Star's door, told by Damien his writing is sterile, something the teachers will really love. John says that Damien is the son of a gazillionaire with no real world skills outside of being an assassin, something Damien is more than comfortable with. Damien hoped that he wouldn't have to come to this, but he pleads with his friend for a ride home, so John relents and the two head down an alley next to the school. Damien rips open his shirt to begin to change into his Robin costume as he finds John carefully unbuttoning his shirt, telling Damien that his dad told him he keeps ripping too many shirts and he'll need to sew them himself if he rips any more. Once changed, the Super Sons take off into Metropolis, finding there is literally no crime happening throughout the city. Damien thinks they should have gone to Gotham, but John soon spots something, and Damien is excited to finally face some crime for the night, only to learn John spotted a nurse in need of help with her groceries. John easily carries all of the groceries and her children inside the house, telling the nurse that he's happy to help those on the front lines of public health. Minutes later, after finishing the job, John finds Damien ask the woman for a tip. Damien reveals that the woman just gave him the money and he didn't stop her. John wants him to return the money since the last thing he needs is money, but Damien thinks that the aspiring journalist should write an expose about that no one reads. As they walk down the street, a purple cloaked figure appears behind them, following them, having expected the arrival of the Super Sons. The being confronts them, screaming about the doom scroll and how this is all a story from the other side. The woman erupts into flames, soon exploding into a fiery inferno that engulfs the street and the Super Sons. Challenge of the Super Sons issue 1 saw the return of the young heroes in a new set of stories set before the current events in the DC universe. Much like the Adventures stories before it, this series looks to be continuing the trend of the boys dealing with the pressures of school, as well as balancing it with their superheroing. I like that John is following in his parents' footsteps and trying to become a journalist in his own stead, but I would have liked if he had chosen maybe a different career to set his sights on. Kind of change him up a bit and not make him a literally small Superman. Have him do something else. Like, I would have liked to see him maybe, if he wanted to stay in that field, maybe go over to the photography side of things, or sports or something just to branch him out a little bit instead of just becoming another investigative journalist. The setup to the Doom Scroll story was kind of fun, but I do wish we got a little bit more setup than what we overall got, since it really was literally that last page that was all the setup. The issue was 22 pages long, so there definitely was room for it to be sort of peppered in through there, but hopefully next issue we'll get some more in-depth stuff on what exactly it is, since from hearing about it just kind of sounds like the DC Universe's version of the Death Note, which is quite interesting, and I'm intrigued to see what the kids will get up to dealing with that. Overall, it was a great beginning to a new installment of the Super Sons story. I'm going to give this issue an 8.5 out of 10.